Hello and welcome to the next episode of Rahul Sudan Value Podcast. We have created a channel where you come and meet the entrepreneurs, you have met the founders, and you've also met the people who have built dreams successfully. Now, today we're going to meet someone who is building a company from, I would say, ashes. The example with that you quote is the phoenix which rises from the ashes, and that's what this guy is doing around. Turning around India's most admired company into the most successful company now. So journey from being most admired to most being successful is what we're going to look now. We'll be picking his brains, how a CEO works in the daytime. What does he do in the morning? How does he manage his schedule? He manages a team of about 300 people, how the delegation happens. Couple of questions, and this will be a one hell of a podcast. Stay tuned till about 30-40 minutes and you'll get a great deal out of it. Let me introduce you to my friend, my mentor actually. He's younger to me, but I learned a lot of stuff from him. Let's welcome Advocate Abhilash Thomas on our show. Welcome to the show, Abhi.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Waiting for such a long time for inviting you on show. Finally, you are here. Now, this show is being followed by company owners, So we have a lot of founders, a lot of D2C guys, a lot of influencers who study this channel, People who have aspirations to build their own dreams and grow. And I would say entrepreneur at heart and maybe influencer at mind. That's the thing we have in our case. Now, I want to really know about it. As a life as a CEO, how you spend your 24 hours and how you are converting a company which was most admired to being the most successful. It's like, I may be a good actor, may be admired by the community in artist form, but I may not be making money out of it. Now you're doing both the things, creating a most admired and the most successful company in India. So let me just take me through your journey. How's it been, how you've been managing these 300 people? What is your schedule? Just want to know about it.
See, schedule, when you ask me, I don't have a fixed schedule. Otherwise, our office used to start by 9:30. And I prefer to reach on time. And I prefer to leave early. That is the way I used to work. And most of the time, I travel. I spend that way less than 50% of my time in office. That's the way my office life goes. And my kids, I have to wake them up by 5 in the morning. That's my duty.
Don't laugh about it. It's the same thing here. So I'll understand about this.
Yes. So that way, yeah. So at least my wife's duty is to push them to bed at least by 9 o'clock. That's her job. So after that, things are cool between us, hardly an hour. So 10 o'clock, I hit the bed. So this is the way it goes.
Okay. Now, we'll break it down a little bit more now. Now, most of the CEOs have this morning hard routine of maybe doing an exercise or maybe calling all the people in the morning and then maybe starting the office work. They have this. Everybody has that energy, motivational time, one time where they're very motivated enough in the daytime. Now, there are two kinds of leadership which is happening.
Okay.
One was that I have about 7-9 layers of managers, maybe my VP, vice presidents, a VP finance or a VP logistics or a VP commercial.
Okay.
And then I allow them to work as per their strength, responsibilities and a KRA.
Okay.
I would say, and the old school which was followed by most of the manufacturing setups where you had GMs and the delegation happening.
Okay.
Now the second thing happening is after the AI has come up, with the WhatsApp has come up. Now, a company owner, a CEO, can address 200 people in his organization in one WhatsApp group. Now, it created a problem in the management. Sir, you're crossing a line. You're giving the information directly to the team member. But then it happened, the world's most valuable company, NVIDIA. So their owner addresses 250 people directly because he believes the vision, the value that he holds should go to everyone. Which is your style of working?
See, I am not that category. To be honest with you, I am over dependent on few people. We have clearly compartmentalized our departments. It's headed by professionals. I used to involve only in the review meetings. Furthermore, I would say I don't hire a person who is more knowledgeable and talented than me.
You don't hire a person?
I don't hire a
Oh,
person.
this is something new?
Yes.
Okay.
If he cannot teach me something, then if he's not of that caliber, I don't hire. The reason is I have never worked as an employee in any company. After my college, I never worked. So that, what do you call, sense of insecurity, those things I have never experienced. So that way, I don't have any problem, or means I am very clear that I should be surrounded by better people than me, and I am dependent on them. For my safety, yes, I have created a clear second line also, because if one person, if he is unable to come for a little long time due to some personal reasons, or some people if they have moved on, yes, the second in command should be in place. So that is there. So this is my management style.
So you keep it one way. I mean, so compartmentalization, heads of the department, you
Yes, I deal only with them, and in their absence, I go to the second person. That's it. When I go to the second person, the first person, I am sure that's going to be the supplementary question. So let me answer that. It's like they don't feel threatened, because the people who started with me when we started the company, those people are still in the front line and much more educated. And because when the company is small, you don't need great people to drive the company. You need some multitaskers and those category of people. But once the company grows, the complexities of the company also grows. Then you need people from such organizations who handle such work to come in. They shall get the work done, and the guy who is sitting above him, he is above him only because of his seniority, and by the time he would have developed certain amount of entrepreneurial attitude, he treats the company as his company, and he won't wait for the orders to come to proceed further. They have that freedom and flexibility, and they deal with this guy. So they are already the boss of someone who is coming from a much bigger profile. So that way they know what we count. So that way they won't feel threatened. And my job is, yes, when these people, in their absence or in some situations like that, I used to step in and do that job. Otherwise, I am very clear that there should not be anything hands-on which I have to handle. There should not be anything. That way, I am kind of free person in my office.
Wow.
Yeah.
So most freed and most responsible person, both at the same go.
Yeah, that is there. Yes.
Okay. Now, so what is your favorite style of hiring? So do you hire slow and fire slow, or do you hire fast and fire fast?
See, rule number one, I won't hire a person whom I cannot fire, especially the relatives or friends, such. So that's there. And one responsibility I hold in the company is the hiring and firing. There should not be anyone in my organization means won't be fired without my knowledge and hired without my knowledge. This is
The entire company structure?
entire company structure.
Wow.
Whoever it is, that firing and hiring, I won't designate to anybody. Okay, let the HR complete the formalities, everything. But it is ultimately my call, hiring and firing.
And why do you do that? I mean, hiring with such a large organization, what is the reason behind it?
See, the reason behind it is like, as you rightly pointed out, the company value system. See, the first impression is the best impression. The first time when someone steps in, okay, I may be spending some time with him. That is the time I pass the value system of the company to him. After that, I may not be interacting with him, but he should hold that value, and he shall, because this is his only interaction probably, or may on the very first interaction, somebody at senior level in the company, that he will hold for sure. And the firing, Rahulji, honest with you, this office politics and favoritism, and no one should use that card to coerce anyone in my organization. So that is one power which we should not give it to anyone, whether it's HR or the functional heads or anyone. That's not right, I believe. We are not Reliance or we are not Tatas. We are a medium level company. At this level, it is possible for any entrepreneur in that matter.
Well, that's a good thought, delivering values at the first time, because somebody coming into the organization, if he doesn't feel the organization, he will never be tuned to what it works actually. It's not a 9 to 5 thing. And technically in the business that you do, which is of the being the best, most admired direct sales company in India, it's still a very, very people-driven business. And, we could have a farmer or we could have a lady and we could have somebody, a doctor coming to our office, and unless until we are people driven, will not be handle any KPIs. So I think that's a beautiful thought. But let's talk about youngsters now. So you have millennials, you have Gen Z coming in, you have bloomers. I've heard there's a new word which has come up. Now, how do you reckon them? I mean, does the same logic works with them also? I mean, are they the same thing? You talk to them and their vision or their role also gets aligned to the company, or you think that they will come, do a trial bit and then say, sir, I'll go and have a, stay in mountains in Munnar for or a holiday in Ooty, and then come back and think about it, what I have to do in life.
See, it's like I got resumes from IIMs, NLS, those institutions. They're pretty cool guys, they're more daring, more ambitious. Of course, they have their flaws, as you rightly pointed out. But this is an organization. Organization will have its own culture. So you cannot change the culture of an organization. If you go to Reliance and talk anyone in Reliance, even after 20 years of demise of Dhirubhai Ambani, most of the people in Reliance, they have that DNA still they hold. One Reliance employee has even changed his surname to Ambani.
Wow.
That much, fascination he had for Ambani Senior. If you go to Infosys, still it is culturally Narayan Murthy company. Because around a person, the organization evolves. So that is the way it is. So this organization, my chairman, Mr. C. Answer, whom I admire a lot and who is my mentor. So his culture, that is what the culture everyone in the organization follows. Although the company is between us, but still I don't behave as an equal to him in the organization. I report to him. He is the chairman of the board and I am the CEO. But that is his value system, which I admire a lot, and that is what it penetrates in the organization. So somebody can adapt to it, because I believe a great follower only can become a great leader.
True.
So if this new person, he will have his space, but if he cannot adapt to the culture of the organization, then he may become a misfit.
True. I think that's a very valid point. I think Abhi just made a very strong point actually. You need to be a good follower to become a good leader. I think that's a very, very important and a valid point.
Yeah.
Now, before we come to the mentor thing, you just touched on a very important topic about Andar sir's being a good mentor to you.
Yes.
But I'll come to that office politics. Now,
Okay.
Is office politics a necessity? Is it like a boon or a bane? I mean, it's...
See, Rahulji, I'll just tell you, it's like in my own experience, there were people who wanted to replace me and to become the CEO of the organization. Because, yeah, Abhilash might be a co-founder, but how come a low graduate can lead a healthcare company? A PhD always suits for that position, and that trouble even I had gone through. It's
Love
like
to hear more about it. Actually,
it is basically they believe this scientist. I'm not talking about everyone, but at least some of them. They believe they rule this world. They control this world. This PhDs, this especially from this healthcare domain, they have that virus in them. Yeah, it's not so easy because especially when you get into a dialogue, some terminologies which they use, you may not be able to understand. Sometimes on purpose they may use it, then if you don't speak out or if you don't address that, you may look like a clone, a misfit to the seat. And without knowing what it is, if you respond, again, you will land in a much bigger trouble. So those things, my chairman gave me the strength to set it right. So I used to use the language inside communications. Talk to me a language which I understand.
clear cut.
Yes.
And what was their response now?
I appreciate, Doc, you have a PhD, but at the same time, your ability to communicate is also critical. This, whatever you said, I don't understand anything. Make me understand. Let me see how good you are.
So office politics is there. You need to learn how to fight it then.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to. You don't need to feel inferior at that point of time. Rather, you openly address it.
So was there, the benefit in the hindsight that you were never done a regular job and you always worked as a, direct seller, then you moved on to leader and become a world best trainer and a global trainer actually. So in the hindsight, do you think that resilience of being a direct seller combination gave you enough power or enough patience or enough belief that you would be able to handle this position? Because becoming CEO for this big company is a big thing. I mean,
See, directly I landed as the CEO of a 500 crore company. That was my first employment.
So I think this is a global record. I mean, it's somewhere.
Yes, kind of. I got parachuted.
Unless and until you are married to the, in the family of the owners,
Correct.
you can't become a CEO.
I got your point. It's like my previous CEO. He was an alumni of BITS Pilani.
Okay.
And he was working for UB Group, and he has developed some of the famous injections of UB's pharma company. And enough global exposure, especially with high-end companies in the US, like Pfizer and all. So somebody with a very incredible profile. His name also Patanjali.
The name is Patanjali.
His name itself was Patanjali, yeah. So when he had to move out due to personal reasons, then they couldn't find anybody suddenly. Then somebody has to be in there in the seat. So they decided to appoint me as the interim CEO. Mr. Patanjali also said Abhilash could be the right fit at this point of time. And I thought it's only for a year. After that, I can return to where I actually belong. But after some time, I realized if I go back, then the world will consider me as a failure in this job. So I had to perform.
Wow.
That is the way it's all happened.
Always a fighter.
Answering to your point, it's like, yes, my grooming helped me. I worked as an entrepreneur because I was an entrepreneur. Although it's a salaried post, I have economic interest in the company, but plus the other background. So I was that way I was ready-made to act upon. And very comforting one statement was 85% is communication, only 15% only technical. And Steve Jobs, he was not an engineer. So those things were a very comforting thing for me. Yeah.
Wow. That's a, I think, amazing point, that 85% of what you do and how you achieve success is about communication only. Okay. And remaining 15% is?
15%
Skills.
only technical.
Only technical.
Only
skills.
technical, yes. So
Okay.
you don't need to become an engineer to found
An engineering company.
Apple.
Apple. True. Great.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, that's a huge resilience. I mean, I can virtually. So I've worked with a couple of CEOs actually at a
Yes.
global level also, and it's very, very hard to visualize, how easy it would have been for you. I'm just wondering right now. Okay, now let's look at the mentor part. So you've been mentored to so many people, and you've been guiding so many people, and when people have known that you're coming into our show as the Indian CEO,
Okay.
and so there've been questions coming onto our show. So there will be a lot of followers, and you have across the industry. I mean, it's not only your own company, but across the industry, people love you for what you have done for the industry. But who do you look at? I mean, who does Abhilash Thomas looks at when it comes to mentorship?
As I told, see, Mr. C answer, he has done an incredible job, especially in the domain of nutraceuticals, because their family introduced Indian standardized herbs in the US. Although it's not a match with the Chinese herbal medicines, but still, Indian Ayurveda, they standardized it, because otherwise Ayurveda as a whole, it was not accepted in the US. So they actually made that name in the US, so his family. And he is with enormous global exposure. Worked in various countries. I mean, the build companies in countries like Germany, Japan, US for the family. So that way, working with him, it is like, it's a blessing for me. It's like his experience, and he's so kind. And when you make mistakes, he's there to correct with the right tone, when you when you are in need of someone to back you up, he was available. Those things were extremely critical for me as a CEO in the first 5-6 years. I think after that, it's kind of, I'm of my own.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what kind of books do a CEO reads? I mean, the free time. I know you travel about almost 15-20 days a month, and you have 3 lovely daughters. So,
Yeah.
Will you tough to read? But do you get a time to read something, or what do you like to read then?
See, the books I supposed to read, I'm not getting time for that.
Believe me, the story for everyone.
But I love reading, but my kind of books, so in which I am very passionate about.
Okay. And any books you want to refer to a young age entrepreneurs who want to build a business, or to the entrepreneurs who want to lead a founder, or somebody wants to become a founder?
See, that way, I just want to tell you, the starting point is not just entrepreneurs or CEOs. Everyone must read the business school. According to me, that must be taught in a public school at +2 level or something, PU level.
Business Guru.
Business school.
Business school.
Of Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
That is a must. It's a foundation.
So, Abhilash ji, we have heard how you manage the entire day affairs, and you also spoke about your mentor, Shri Anjar Sahab, who has such a global experience. Now, people also read to books and the Instagram channels, and they follow YouTubes for learning also. So if I have to ask you 2-3 things. So one is, which books do you read, or which channels do you follow?
Okay.
Is there a favorite podcaster of yours? I mean, that I wanted to know.
Right. See, as I said earlier, every child who is pursuing his 11th or 12th, the parents must advise them to read the business school. Not the whole series, at least the Rich Dad Poor Dad, the first book, everyone must read. So that will give you a fantastic outlook about uh, entrepreneurship, and that book can nurture you, the entrepreneur in you. So those that book, yes, I highly recommend. Furthermore, see, the self-help books, we have a huge list. I had the passion of reading such books at one point of time. Maybe because of my age, or I don't know, whatever made me, I have moved on from such books. I'm not getting a kick anymore by reading it. Honest with you, the last book I finished was about Christopher Columbus.
So way back 1774?
No, Columbus reached the Americas in 1492.
Wow.
Means 534 years. And currently, I am reading about Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he is a multiple personality. He means his contributions in various fields. If you take it into account, even one field is enough for a person to say that he had a meaningful life. Yeah, so that way Benjamin can be credited with multiple of that. So I don't know what made me to get into it, but one thing I'll tell you, it's like sometimes when I'm standing in the airport queue in the security check, if this category of books are in my hands, I'll start reading there also. Wow. But otherwise, is a book what I see you're supposed to read. If that category, even if I am on board, I don't know, I'm not getting a taste to read it. Let me be so frank and open.
So just an option. Do you believe in manifestation?
See,
I mean, you're not reading self-help books, so there's the obvious question that comes up.
See, it's like those things may help many people. They must do that. See, for me, Rahulji, I don't follow such things.
So do you believe in law and karma? Law of karma?
And no.
Okay, so that's something new actually, because these days this is a trending topic. I mean, you put a hashtag manifestation and you'll have a whole lot of people believing in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Now, so if you don't believe in manifestation, which is okay, which is personal choice. So now let's look at visualization. One thing.
All right.
So now I would like you to tell me something as a
Okay.
What would Abhilash Thomas as a human being, as a person, as a CEO, and as a president for Federation of Indian Direct Selling Industry.
All right.
What would be your game plan for next, let's say, 2 years? I mean, so 5 years is a big time now.
Okay.
With AI, drastically improving, you cannot predict.
Right.
So next 2 years, let's say, but this is 2026, 2028 January, Abhilash Thomas is a person, and Indusviva as an organization, as your CEO role, and Federation of Indian Direct Selling. Where do you see things moving on for next 2 years?
See, let me tell you. First, if I talk about my organization, FITSI, the company, means the organization I represent. See, FITSI is keeping Chinese companies as a benchmark. We need at least 1,000 companies which can do a 500 crores plus business every year. Then only it will have an impact in Indian economy and Indian society. It's like the Dhirubhai says, if you supply more, it will become a trend. Whereas in school, we studied that scarcity creates demand. That is the economics we have learned. But I believe in what Dhirubhai Ambani said. So if you apply that analogy here, you need more and more companies with minimum size of 500 crores, means a stable company. More and more you need. For that, what is needed? everyone used to blame that, oh, India, the legal things, the government has not put it in place. Trust me, this is 2026. The legal story is over here. What government's supposed to do, they have done. I don't want to go to the details of that, but still, this is what I wanted to say. That part is over. Any company, a legitimate company, can be legally covered in India today. Those things are available today in 2026. So please stop crying about those things. And second, if the organizations like FITSE or any, if you go to a state like Kerala, due to their communist culture, they have the trade unions, which won't fit for a direct selling industry, but still they represent the direct sellers. So they also can do the job of, informing the concerned authorities the companies are in the name of this industry doing something else. So it's the duty of a citizen to do it, whether you are an individual or a corporate citizen. So lack of legal administration and penetration of illegal companies, please don't expect companies from other field will come and rectify it. Tanishq or Titan won't come and do this. Reliance won't come and do this. Or DLF won't come and do this. Companies in this industry and stakeholders of this industry, they have to do that job. But still, you cannot eliminate everything 100%. This 15-20% impact of such elements will be there. But look at the 80%. Look at the 80%. So, one issue, the other issue they are talking about is a lot of bad companies. A lot of bad companies in the sense, those companies, as I said, you have to report. Then another thing they used to say, the companies are not able to scale up. Another complaint they used to make, why a company is not able to scale up? Because no innovation. Everybody is trying to copy another one.
True.
If one company is making a juice, if that is selling well, everyone will make the juice. If one company is making a shake, if that is selling well, or protein powder, if that is selling, everybody is duplicating it. And how they are saying, so this is better than that company's. That way they are glorifying the original. So what you need to do is you have to identify the gaps in the market. That is where your mind has to work. The brain has to work. There are a lot of gaps in the market. Identify a gap and make a product to fill that vacuum, position exactly there. So then you are the pioneer. 1,000 opportunities are available there. 1,000 opportunities. That way, if you make a product, and even Donald Trump, he might be a controversial figure, but whatever it is, very, very successful man. And he has written about network marketing, saying that a network marketing company must have a product. That product of what kind of product? He says, a product, if it is not powerful enough, there is no point of having a powerful advertisement campaign. First time people will buy, after that they won't buy.
True.
The same way, if you associate with or if you launch a company without an innovative product, you need to energetically, you need to spin the wheel. The moment you stop spinning, it will happen because you are a human. The system will stop.
Collapse.
But if you have a fantastic product, unique product, if you are a pioneer in that domain, then once a customer buys, out of 3 customers, at least 2 will continue to buy. So you shall stay in business. This is what Donald Trump says. So if you have a product of that kind, that is the most important thing. And you build the business on the product of that product. And you need to nurture that product. Products are like children. You need to add more science into it. And the scope of formulation, optimization, always there. You continue to improve the product and add more science into it by conducting more and more studies based on the market intelligence you get. That way, if you build that product in such a way, then you will not have a problem of losing people, because your distributors are trained to deal with that product only. They won't be happy
Doing something else.
with something else. So that is the foundation. That is the core. That is a core. For that, you don't need to become a scientist. As I said, Steve Jobs, he was not. But you need to know what exactly you want. And you will have to tell the scientist, this is what you need to make.
Wow.
See, being an advocate, at least by qualification, I can say one point that, there are litigations in every company. But in our company, any case which we file a, what you call, a writ petition in the apex courts, we are very clear about our prayer. Our prayer and our ground, we used to draft and give it to whoever bigger advocate it is. And they may disagree, and we give our argument unless and until we are comfortable with the grounds and the prayer. We won't proceed further. It's not just like give it to the advocate and
will take
waiting
care
for
of
the
it.
outcome.
True.
You will get the outcome, but not what you want. You may get a biryani, but once you get in your hand, you will come to know it's a chicken biryani and you are a vegetarian. It's gone. It will be that order will become useless. The same way, it's not the advocate is running the case. It's not the doctor is doing the treatment. More than doctor, you know about your body. So you need to study about the decisions he is telling you. This is what you need to do. That is the reason people are saying go for second opinion, third opinion before going for a major medical treatment. The same way it is here also. If you know what exactly you want, then whatever other person is offering, you won't simply take it. Why are you taking? Because you don't have a solution in your hand. You don't know what you want. So when someone is saying, okay, this is good, very good, take it, you go by that.
True.
So that innovation, if you do it, let me tell you, for 1,000 companies, enough space is there in this country. Then when all the companies are doing well, it will become a big revenue for the exchequer. Social impact would be multifold. Then the government people, ICICI chairman or CEO shall get the appointment of finance minister with a 1 hour prior notice. That level, this industry representatives also will reach. Otherwise, you won't be respected.
So Abhilash ji has now given us two beautiful insights on how he wants to see the direct selling industry, the tradition of Indian direct selling industry to grow. And with a very, very bottom line thing, if you rule US, then you're virtually ruling everywhere. And a kind of thing which gives a very, very big vision for a person and for his company to where really he sees industry growing. Now, second point he made is about his company also. To be the most responsible company and to be a global company where people will admire, people will accept direct selling as a business. And beautiful example of being a, as compared to probably Tupperware, the kind of brand ownership these distributors have in India. Now we're moving on to the third important thing is as a person. Now, sir, we need to start. What do you see yourself for the next 2 years as a person?
Yeah, next 2 years, personally speaking, of course, you asked me about my company's targets. So my personal goals are connected to company's goals. And furthermore, when it comes to too personal, it's all about my family, my wife, Jiti, my kids, how they are going to, enjoy we as a unit in the next 2 years. So we are kind of office to home, home to office category. There is no stopping in between. So for me, one prime important thing is my children should not become employees after their education. That's very important because I don't want to do it by force, but they have to do it by themselves. That is the reason when I conduct my programs and all, I used to make them sit. I give them some responsibilities. So It's not by making them sit by force, but I give them some responsibility so that they will hear what I'm saying. So, because I treat myself as an evangelist of entrepreneurship, and my own children, if they are working for some other companies, it will become a very, very big embarrassment, which I don't want. So, nurturing my children in that direction is one important thing. Otherwise, we travel many places in the country during this place, not outside India, within India. That way we enjoyed kind of family, personal, and even office thing also. Kind of it's a mature now. It took a lot of years to reach this kind of stability in the house and in the office. Kind of now I am enjoying that leverage today.
Wow.
Yes.
I think it's a beautiful thought, what Abhilash said. It's about that stability and maybe an inner peace where you think that things are now moving towards you. Or it's what you call it, a gravitational thing that comes inside.
Yes.
Now, with this, we would come to an end to our podcast, which I would say would take another 3-4 hours or maybe another 3-4 days. It can keep continuing. But I promise you, in the next podcast, we will be discussing with Abhilash ji about the regulatory assessment in direct selling space in India. We'll also be talking about how e-commerce, affiliate and the retail model are now being studied along with direct selling. There's a new model which is coming up, which is called the DEAR. You have direct selling, e-commerce, affiliate and retail combining together. Whole lot of new things are happening in the AI space and tech space, and he's the man to answer every question for us. Sir, it's been a lovely spending time with you. Any message for our Rahul Sudan Valley podcast, Direct Selling Today subscribers, sir?
One clear message. There is no other viable option to become an entrepreneur for a mediocre person than direct selling. Direct selling today is the only reliable, value-adding magazine today available in this country as far as this industry is concerned. If you don't stay tuned with the latest informations and trends of your own industry, then how can you grow? So that way it is so critical for you not to buy direct selling today, but to read direct selling today and ensure that your spouse also is reading it, because otherwise you may be moving so far and there shall be a disconnect within the family. They may not be able to attend all the programs, trainings, events and all you are attending. They may not be able to do it. But they can read this because it's there at home. As per their convenience, they can read it. Make sure they are reading it. Between most of the families, what's happening today is the romance is getting lesser between husband and wife because conversation is less due to lack of common interest. For husband, it is profession and business. Wife, it is family, kids, cooking and all that. So this can be the middle ground. So if she reads this, she will get updated. She will enjoy your recognition events. So that way your family quality also shall go up. See, Direct Selling Today magazine offers much more benefits than you can even imagine or comprehend today.
Thank you so much, Abhilash. I mean, it's beautiful words that you've just said. I mean, I would, I've got my reel for the day. So I will just cut it out and, I'll put it on. Thank you so much for coming on our show, Abhilash. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure.
Indeed, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
Thanks so much.